Oh, hello. Welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today is the Sunday Stuff and Things. And on the Sunday Stuff and Things, we have stuff and things to talk about, including upcoming videos, things that you can look forward to on Stuff and Things YouTube and Stuff and Things Patreon. We are going to talk about YouTube and the partner program, what's been going on with that, some interesting developments. We're going to get into spring cleaning, how I am trying to minimize my life a little bit. Does that sound right? Minimize my life? I'm trying to minimize possessions and things that I have in my life. Too many hobbies, too much stuff. And so we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll have Patreon shout outs and updates, and we'll talk about what you can look forward to exclusively on Patreon this coming week. Lots of good stuff going on. Oh yeah, the GP Fine Teas Point Barrow blend sent to us, excuse me, by our good friend Mike. That's one thing you'll be able to look forward to on Patreon, and a really interesting blend, but all sorts of good stuff coming up. Please stay tuned. There's something in my throat. I don't know what's going on. All right, gang, upcoming videos. This week, this has jumped the queue a little bit. These are my new Shinzo Tamura Umeda Carbon sunglasses. They were sent to me by Shinzo Tamura, and they are really interesting sunglasses. I'm wearing them indoors right now, and I can see everything very clearly. I've got these really bright studio lights shining on me, and when I put these on, the glare from the lights goes away, but it doesn't seem to dim anything else in the room. Really interesting technology behind these lenses. They're polarized lenses, and then the frames are made out of nylon. Very flexible, but very durable. Cool glasses, and I'm jumping them up in the queue a little bit because I've had them for a couple weeks, and I want to make sure that the good people at Shinzo Tamura, who sent me these sunglasses, will get a review pretty quickly. So I'll have an affiliate link for these in this video, and then in the actual review when that posts this Wednesday on Stuff and Things YouTube and Stuff and Things Patreon. Then, next week, exclusive to Stuff and Things Patreon, we will have the G&P Fine Teas Point Barrow blend. This is a really weird one, gang. So this is a G&P Fine Teas, which is located in Anchorage, Alaska. Our good friend Mike from Alaska sent me this blend to try out, and apparently it's their most popular blend. The one that they blend blends in their brick and mortar pipe store, and this is the most popular one. I think he said they sell 2,000 pounds a year, something like that, like a significant amount of it. The thing is, it's a Cavendish-based blend. Not something I would typically like. It's also a flavored blend. It's a case blend. It's a sugary topped blend. All things that I should hate, vehemently hate, but I did not hate it. So we do a blend spotlight on Stuff and Things Patreon next week. Check it out. Really interesting stuff, really interesting blend. And then now, since we jumped the Shinzo Tamura sunglasses up in the queue, the week after that, we will have the two seminal photo books you should pay attention to. One, Robert Frank, The Americans. Actually, I have them here somewhere. Hold on. One, The Americans by Robert Frank, published by Aperture. Beautiful book with beautiful pictures, nicely printed, very, very lovely. Available right now. These books, seminal photo books that are usually out of print, but they're available now. And then this, Walker Evans, American Photographs. This was originally published in 1938, and this edition by the Museum of Modern Art is attempting to recreate that original edition as closely as possible, as far as how it's printed and the content of the book. And there's a lot of like seminal, iconic Depression era photos in this book. Both of these are fantastic, and I'll just talk about them a bit in that episode coming up soon. And then more stuff coming up on Stuff and Things Patreon, Stuff and Things YouTube. I have an interesting challenge video that I'm going to want to do on Patreon soon, where basically someone is sending me a blend and not telling me what it is, and I have to try to guess. I don't know if I'm going to try to guess the components or the specific blend, but this should be interesting, and it could really call me out. Do I know what I'm talking about? Probably not. All right, gang, so I have been trying to cleanse the channel, as we've been talking about. There's been this whole saga of the demonetization that happened in February. I got kicked out of the partner program, and we had to move all the pipe stuff onto Patreon. All new pipe stuff is going exclusively to Patreon. So if you want to see the pipe stuff, you're gonna have to go subscribe at Patreon. $5 gets you in the door. You'll be able to see everything there. Not everything that was on YouTube has been put back on Patreon yet. I'm still working through my old reviews. Eventually, we're going to try to get pretty much everything important over there, and we'll have collections on Patreon that you'll be able to access if you are a Patreon supporter. It sucks, it's annoying, but it's just what we had to do. And so I've been trying to get back into the partner program because it is very important to be in the partner program. YouTube does not seem to want to show your videos to people. I've had a lot of comments from people saying, your videos do not show up in my subscriber feed. I have to go to your channel directly. And I think that is directly attributable to the fact that that my channel was not in the partner program and that my videos weren't monetized. YouTube just doesn't have an incentive to put them in front of people. And so I was cleaning the channel, and I think it was 3 days ago, I thought, okay, I think everything is okay now. I was worried about trying to reapply because I thought if I was rejected that it would mean that I might have to wait another 3 months before I could get back in the partner program. But I was like, okay, after dozens of hours trying to go through every freaking video on the channel, looking at the description, looking at the tags, like, oh my God, it was so tedious. But I finally did it all, and I was like, okay, I'm going to press reapply. I did it. And then it said, thank you for applying to the partner program. We will give you our decision within a month. And I went, okay, there we go. And then I woke up the next day and I had a message from somebody saying, there are ads on some of your videos. What's going on? And see, I still don't know if there were ads when I wasn't even in the partner program, if YouTube was skimming a little off for themselves without me actually being able to monetize my videos. So I was like, oh, I didn't think anything of it. And then I got a couple more messages, and then I opened my YouTube studio and saw like, oh, I'm back in the partner program. Okay, so there you go. Apparently we're back. It's been really interesting to look at the analytics of the channel, where as soon as I was demonetized and kicked out of the partner program, everything went, ooh, way down. And some of you might say, well, first of all, you suck, and that's why your views went way down. You don't put the pipe stuff on the channel anymore, so that's why your views went way down. Your videos just haven't been very good, that's why your views went down. All perhaps valid points, but I can look at each individual category and really break down the analytics, and it's very obvious that it was like a switch was pulled. And so I'm hoping now that once we're back in the partner program, which we are, that views will start going up. And some of you might say, why do you care about views? It's not the money aspect, because I don't really make any money off of YouTube anyway, or I never really made much money off of YouTube. It's pretty much Patreon. Patreon's pretty much the only thing that supports this content. So if you want to support the channel, Patreon's the way to go. But there's kind of this thing of like, if you don't get any views on your videos, you feel like you're just yelling into a well or yelling into an empty void. And you need some kind of feedback or some kind of criterion to judge that you're doing well, I guess. And so getting a video that gets a lot of views, you're like, yay, I did something. People are watching, people are enjoying it. But when you work on something and you put it out and you only get like a couple hundred views, it's just very deflating. And so being back in the partner program and hopefully getting this content back into the YouTube algorithm will mean that, at least for good old Brad's self-esteem, maybe it'll get a little bump up because I can say, oh, look, I'm actually getting some views. That's nice. And it's just more motivational. It makes me want to keep doing this. Obviously, the Patreon, obviously the people who support on Patreon and the people who interact and leave comments and messages and everything, that's a hugely important part of it. But I like to have that little thing of like, look, this got several thousand views in a day. That's nice. People like it. So there you go. we're back. We'll see what happens. We're going to keep the status quo of talking about things on Sunday Stuff and Things. We'll talk about blends and stuff, but we won't have any specifically pipe-related videos on YouTube. Those will all be going to Patreon, but we'll be giving you updates and stuff of what to expect on Patreon on YouTube and what to expect on YouTube. Everything should be pretty good going forward. This next subject, I feel like a lot of you are really going to be able to relate to me about. So, if you've been watching this channel, you know that I like stuff. I like stuff and things. And I don't mean necessarily actual physical things, like I like things, I need things, but I get super interested in things, in subjects, in history, in films, in books, in people, and especially in hobbies. I really enjoy finding out everything I could possibly find out about a particular subject. And if there is an activity involved in that subject, I will probably want to try it. And I get really drawn into researching the accoutrement that you might need for that hobby. You know, obviously pipes, that's a big part. Been into knives in the past. Photography is my main passion right now, and I really think it will be. Guitars, I think photography and guitars are kind of the main drivers of my enthusiasm right now. Obviously pipes is kind of a more passive thing. You're not going out and doing piping. I'm going to go pipe right now. But I go out and do photography. I play guitar, but I always get kind of seduced by other hobbies. And then I end up acquiring the things I need for those hobbies. Well, the things I think I need for those hobbies. And then I don't end up having the time or the wherewithal to actually make use of those things. So a few years ago, I bought a bunch of stuff for making scale models. I bought an airbrush and a compressor for the airbrush. I bought all the paints. I bought a model. I bought all this stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make this model. And then I realized I don't have the room or the time or even the inclination to use this stuff. And so it's just been sitting. And the other day, I opened my closet and that airbrush compressor, which was crammed delicately into the top of the closet, tumbled down and almost brained me, and I managed to catch it before it killed me. And I thought, you know what? I need to get rid of some of this stuff. So that's what I've been really doing the last week or so, is trying to catalog things that I don't need. Things that I got maybe for hobbies that I thought I would indulge in and then never ended up having the time, or something that I did enjoy for a while, but I just haven't been back to. Like I mentioned, the main things for me are photography, pipes, music, and I think I have to kind of narrow it down to that. So I've been cataloging all this stuff and thinking of all these things that I want to get rid of, and I realize like I have so much stuff, and it's actually kind of interesting how happy it makes me to realize that I'm going to be getting rid of so many things. First of all, just from a space standpoint, I don't like feeling as though I'm surrounded by my possessions. And so I want to get rid of a lot of things. Also, because I'm so into photography, and I've been talking about getting a rangefinder camera for a very long time now, and I can't justify the expense of buying one just normally, but I figure, hey, if I get rid of a bunch of stuff and sell a bunch of stuff, then I'm allowed. My reward will be to buy an old rangefinder. I think I might try to get a Leica M4. So yeah, it's been kind of interesting. I hate selling things on eBay or Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, any of those things. It is so irritating dealing with people, all the scammer people, all the flaky people, all the people who say, oh yeah, I'll come and pick that thing up, and then they never show up, and then you call them and they don't return your calls, and then other people call and then they say they want it, but then they don't come, or then they start haggling with you. It's so annoying, but I'm gonna put myself through it because the idea of unburdening myself of many of these things is just really nice. I really like that idea. And I like the idea of really homing in on a few specific hobbies and putting the time and energy into those things that I might be, scattering myself about with normally. So I'm going to get rid of all my modeling stuff. I'm going to get rid of the gerbil stuff. I don't think I'm going to get another gerbil or a hamster or anything like that. I have some old strategy guides that I'm going to get rid of. I might get rid of a few pipes because that's the other thing. I opened my pipe cupboard and pipes tumbled down out of the pipe cupboard. And I was like, oh God, I have too many pipes. So I might get rid of some of those. Maybe I'll do some giveaways with some of that stuff. Stay tuned on Patreon because maybe in the next couple weeks there might be some pipes that I will prize to people on Patreon if they're Patreon supporters. I don't know if you're allowed to do a drawing. I don't know how it works on Patreon. There are some weird rules about that, but I think I can just do a giveaway and randomly select somebody maybe. I'm not sure, but I'm sure there's several pipes that I could just send off to people on Patreon. So yeah, it's nice. Let me know in the comments below if you've done that, if you've had a clear out, a spring cleaning session where you just kind of mercilessly got rid of a bunch of things that you didn't think you needed anymore. I want to do that with clothes, with everything. Minimization. Simplicity. That's what I'm looking for. And then, hopefully, I'll be able to get a old 60s Leica rangefinder camera, and of course, I will love using that for my photography, but it will also be a really cool thing to do content about on YouTube as well. Fun stuff. All right, gang, I feel like I've been going forever in this episode of Sunday Stuff and Things, so it is time to get to hashtag askstuffandthings. Remember, if you have a question for me and you would like it answered on the Sunday Stuff and Things, you could tweet at SAT Bradley with the hashtag askstuffandthings, but you probably shouldn't. Instead, if you are a Patreon supporter, you should write to me via Patreon, go right to the front of the line, or you can leave me questions, comments, and feedback in the comment section of my YouTube videos, just like at James R2622 did for last week's Sunday Stuff and Things. James said, they made a glacier at Boyne Mountain in Michigan. Apparently the glacier, though a narrow strip, is still there. I bet they could have made a man-made glacier at Mount Baker to keep their tradition going strong. So James is talking about, when I was talking about the Ski to Sea race that happens in Bellingham, Washington, it goes from Mount Baker to Bellingham Bay. They don't need a glacier at Mount Baker, though, because there's always snow on Mount Baker. Mount Baker is always snow-capped. The main ski area isn't always snowy all year long. I think in high summer, you'll see chairlifts and there's no snow underneath, but there's always snow at the top of Mount Baker. Yeah, it's a tall mountain. At Michael Case 8574 says, we have a similar race in Portland, the Hood to Coast race. So I'm assuming Mount Hood to the coast. The Shriners are a high order of the Masons. Interesting. They are known for their children's hospitals and their alcohol-fueled conventions. George Carlin would quip, drink up, Shriner, whenever he ran into one of them. So the Masons. Interesting. I didn't realize that there were individual. So Shriners are Masons. So not, let's put it this way. Is it that not all Masons are Shriners, but all Shriners are Masons? Answer me that. Next, at Tom Brown 1898 says, if you want to bring the Sandpiper back, try singing The Shadow of Your Smile, which won the Best Song Oscar for the movie, The Sandpiper. I'm afraid I've never heard of that movie or that song. And then I realized after I made that video, during the Sunday video, I saw some birds. I was calling them sandpipers. I actually looked them up later, and they are black oyster catchers, not sandpipers. Similar looking. Lousy movie, but a great song. As for Walker Evans, have you seen the Depression-era book he did with James Agee? I never know how to pronounce that. Is it Agee or Agee? It's A-G-E-E. Let Us Now Praise Famous Men. I'm sure you've seen some of the photos from it. The subjects are 3 sharecropping families in Alabama, a really brilliant work. I don't have that book and I haven't seen the book, but I've definitely seen some pictures from that book. Yeah, and I've really taken a deep dive with Walker Evans stuff in the past and especially recently. There is a book he did that I really want to get my hands on of him taking, I don't know how he would have had a hidden camera, but apparently he had a hidden camera in the New York subway and this was either in the late 30s or the early 40s, I think late 30s, and he's taking all these candid hidden camera pictures of people in the New York subway in the 30s. I really want to see that. And then we have at Megan9436 who says, "It's true. Your videos aren't appearing in my recommends at all. It seems that I've had to go directly to your page to view the latest Sunday Stuff and Things." Yeah, thanks for writing in, Megan. And a lot of people were letting me know that. We'll see what happens now that I'm back in the partner program. For now, anyway, we'll see if I fly afoul of the YouTube overloads again for some reason. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to take a look at my analytics as we go and see if I'm getting pushed in front of more people again, or if you're getting my videos pushed to you again. And then we have a little bit of feedback from my review of Rattray's Hal of the Wind, which was an exclusively Patreon posting. This is from Sakshin. I don't know how to say that, but I'll say Sakshin or Sakshin, who says, "Hey Bradley, great review. It's just amazing that it took you so long to get to this blend, which is both a classic and right down your alley." That's very true. Speaking of things it gets you a long time to get to, have you ever considered reviewing any Gawith, Hogarth and Company offerings? Yeah, it is crazy that it took me so long for Hal of the Wine, but it's one that's been on my radar forever. I've been meaning to review it forever. I've thought it sounded good forever. And yeah, I'm really glad I finally got to it. It's definitely, yeah, it is my favorite Rattray's blend that I have had out of Marlin Flake, Old Gowrie, and Red Rapparee. And then Gawith and Hogarth, I swear I've done something. Haven't I? Now I can't just quickly search my YouTube videos anymore because they're not there. That playlist isn't there, but I swear I've done at least one. Yeah, I'll have to check into that. But yeah, it'll show up on Patreon eventually if I have done it. All right, gang, thanks for all that feedback. Please keep it coming in. All right, gang, but now it is time for the very best part of the show, and that is where we thank our Patreon supporters. Remember, if you'd like to support the channels on Patreon, there is a link in the description box below, and it is much appreciated. It has been the only way to support the channel for a while now, and it is still the main way to support the content that you enjoy. It also gets you exclusive access to the pipe videos that can no longer go on YouTube, and you get access to videos that do show up on YouTube ad-free and early. And every week we like to shout out those who support the channels at $25 or more a month, the producers of Stuff and Things. People like Jason Buckner, Arcturus, Ashes of the Phoenix, Jonathon Proctor, The Friendly Piper, The GreatGrol, Glenn, Just Glenn, Les Brady, David Severin, Nicholas James, Kyle Whitmore, Mr. Gibson, and Chris Caughey. And of course, the Maniacs, the crazy people who support the channel at $100 a month, people like Bob Magee. And we'll never forget our dearly departed friend and perpetual Hall of Fame member, Peter Straub. Gang, lots of good stuff to look forward to on Stuff and Things YouTube and Stuff and Things Patreon. We have, I guess it's a new era again. We had a new era in February. This is a new era. We will continue forward. We'll keep posting content if you guys keep watching it. But until next time, until we meet again, I've been your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. This has been Stuff and Things on a Sunday Stuff and Things. I'll see you later.